Hey everyone, and thank you for tuning in. I am Brian Sachetta, founder of Self Revolution, a company dedicated to bringing young adults the best information about health and fitness so that they can become the most passionate, energetic versions of themselves and in turn go out and revolutionize their communities. Now I'm filming this video on New Year's Eve, 2013. It's an important time to talk about what your resolutions are, your goals, and maybe some things you have planned for the year of 2014. One thing that I really want to talk to you about today is the difference between goals, resolutions, and identity shifts. So what's a goal? A goal is nothing more than a dream or a vision in your head that you're going to take action towards its achievement. A good example would be to lose 15 pounds. You may say to yourself, I want to lose 15 pounds in 90 days. The actions you're going to take, they'll obviously be specific to your needs and your body type, but they're going to be related to that goal. So for example, you may eat less unhealthy foods. You may try to eat more vegetables, more fruits, drink more water, exercise. Those actions are going to help you take that goal that's in your head and bring it towards reality. Now, a resolution, on the other hand, is a decision you make that something's either absolutely going to happen or absolutely not going to happen. Now, do you hear the difference in the language of a goal and a resolution? A resolution has way more certainty behind it. A goal is kind of something that you're dreaming for or wishing for, whereas a resolution is just like, it's done. I'm going to make it happen and that's it. Now, I know that sounds pretty simple, right? Why is this guy telling us the difference between goals and resolutions? Like, everybody should know the difference between the two, right? Well, if you look at the way people behave around New Year's, I'd make the argument that nobody does know the difference. See, every year people go out and set New Year's resolutions. They say, I want to go to the gym more. I want to lose 15 pounds. I want to be healthier. The problem with that is those aren't resolutions. Those are goals. Those are barely even goals. Those are just hopes. That's it. If they were really resolutions, these people would get out of bed on January 1st, 2014 and say, making it happen. I'm going to lose that weight. I'm going to go to the gym. Whatever it may be, it's done right now. Now, for any goal or resolution that you set, it's very important to extract who it is you want to become in the process of the achievement of the goal or the resolvement of the resolution. The reason why is because without knowing exactly who you want to become in this process, it's possible that you may not take the action necessary for its happening. So let's look at an example. Let's say somebody wants to lose 15 pounds. It's a pretty good goal. I mean, it's something that they want to strive for in the future, and it's not quite a resolution because they're not with an iron fist just saying it's going to happen. They're actually looking at it more as a dream or a vision, something that they can strive for in the future. Now let's say this person gets a month into their 90-day quest and they've lost 5 pounds, but they don't really feel any different. They might look a little skinnier, but they don't feel the progress. They don't really quite understand what's going on. Another 30 days goes by, and let's say they got up to 14 pounds lost and they only have 1 pound to go. If they look at themselves and they don't feel any different, then they might say to themselves, okay, I'm 1 pound away. I've already lost 14 pounds. What is that extra pound going to bring me? I don't feel any different. I might look a little different, but I don't feel it, so what's the point? Why should I continue on this quest to get to the 15 pounds, besides the fact that I wrote it down as my goal? So this is really, really important. Now I was talking about the fact that we need to figure out what it is we're really after and who we really want to become in the process of our goals, so that way we continue to be hungry for them. Now, the person that we're describing is on their way to hitting their goal, but they don't quite feel right. They don't quite feel like they're about to rise up in celebration and be all excited, other than the fact that they achieved something. That's it. So what I would say to this person is that if they could go back and look at their goal and figure out why it was they set this goal or who they wanted to become in the process, it would be much easier to figure out the actions that they're taking or not going to take in the next 30-day period and who they're actually going to become in that process. So, for example, if the person went back and said, okay, I want to lose 15 pounds, yeah, that's good. There's really something else that they need to do. They need to figure out who it is they want to become through this goal. You know, a goal isn't just a dream and a process of saying, I'm going to be happy when I get this way. It's really a way for you to set yourself up to become the person you want to be. So what most people do when they set a goal to lose weight is they say, I'm just going to feel happy when I lose that weight. When really what they need to do is figure out what they're really after. And what they're usually after is feeling better about themselves. So if we know that going into it, we can help change that person's behavior and change their actions in the process of that goal. Because as they lose those 14 pounds, if they don't feel better about themselves, then the goal is really going to be meaningless. So it's important for us to understand why we're doing something and who we're going to become in the process. Now, I know I keep repeating this, but it's so important because without these key distinctions, you're going to continue to set goals and go after them without ever really feeling fulfilled, without really ever hitting your target. And without an actual target, it's hard to hit anything, right? So this leads me into a good segue about my third topic here. You know, we've covered goals, we've covered resolutions, and now we need to cover identity shifts. So when I talk about identity shifts, what I mean is fundamentally changing who you perceive yourself to be or who you believe yourself to be. Now, for somebody who's a little overweight, they may believe themselves to be lazy, they may believe themselves to be out of shape, they may believe themselves to not like themselves. And until we change those beliefs, we're not going to really change who the person is at their core. Even though they may temporarily hit a goal, we're not actually going to change anything in the long-term future. And the reason why identity shifts are so important is because your identity determines who you are and what actions you're going to take. Like I just mentioned, if somebody believes themselves to be lazy, overweight, and not love themselves, then they're going to take actions to support that. Whereas if they believe themselves to be maybe a little overweight, but truly happy with the person that they are, and a pretty hardcore go-getter, they're going to take completely different actions than somebody that is, like I mentioned, lazy, overweight, not happy with themselves. So before you embark on your goal, you really, really need to decide who it is you want to become. You need to figure out who that person is so that in the process of the achievement, you can say, look, I'm changing my identity, I'm becoming a different person, and in that process, these goals are just going to happen. Now, most people kind of start with goals and say, let me do the goal, and then maybe I'll become somebody else in the process. What I like to do is say, right away, determine it is who you want to become. Determine it is what you'd like to have, what you'd like to be, things that you want to have happen in your future. And then as you say to yourself, I am this different person, those goals are honestly just going to fall into place. If you say, I am an athletic, energetic, passionate person, in the process of you integrating that into your nervous system, you are honestly just going to become that kind of person. And I really can't stress enough how important this is, because without this shift up front, you may make short-term gains, short-term changes, but if you don't don't change who you believe yourself to be for the future, the gains that you make short-term, they just honestly won't last. So now that we've taken that little detour into figuring out what an identity shift is and covered all three topics of goals, resolutions, and identity shifts, let's figure out where you're at and how you're going to apply this to make necessary changes and move forward in the year of 2014. So the first thing that I need you to do is to figure out who you want to become in 2014. Do you want to become a strong person? Do you want to become a determined person? Do you want to become a loving person? Do you want to become a healthy person? There's so many different things that you could become. As I mentioned, the reason why you need to figure those things out is so that way you can line up your goals in consistency with your identity. And if you don't do that up front, you may set goals that are consistent with who you want to be, but it won't reflect long term because who you truly are at your core does not reflect the goals that you've set for yourself. So after you've written down who you want to become, you need to figure out what you want to do, what goals you want to set, what goals you want to achieve in the year of 2014. And then you need to separate those goals into true goals and other resolutions. Now, going back to the definitions that I spoke of earlier in this video, a goal that you might write down is something that's going to be a dream that you're going to chase, that you're going to try to make happen through your actions. Now, that resolution, or any resolution for that fact, is something that you're just going to make happen. You're absolutely going to do it, and that's it. So when you write down these ideas, you need to separate the two, because many people, as I mentioned, write down resolutions or resolutions for 2014 that aren't resolutions at all. They say, I want to lose 5 pounds, and think it might happen, but as I mentioned, that's really just a goal. That's not a resolution. So figure out all your goals, figure out all your resolutions, and then just commit to them. Because when you've lined up who it is that you're going to become, your goals and your resolutions so much more easily just fall into place. They're so much more easily going to occur, or you're going to make them happen because of the person that you now are. So I'll give you an example that I personally had or experienced in 2012. It was right after I graduated college, and I noticed that from the college lifestyle I had become a little bit unhealthy, put on some weight, and it really wasn't who I wanted to be. So at that moment I decided who I wanted to be was a healthy, strong, and fit person. And the reason why I wanted to become all those things was because I wanted to inspire other people to become healthy, to become passionate, to go out and live the lives that they absolutely wanted to be. So what I needed to do was I needed to right then just change my identity. What I did was I looked myself in the mirror and I said, look, I've got a little too much weight on me. I'm not perfectly healthy right now. I'm engaging in some things that I shouldn't be engaging in. So I said, right now I'm determining and I'm resolving myself to be a healthy, fit, athletic, compassionate, energetic person. All those things. And then I went down and I wrote down my goals. And I said, okay, I have a little extra weight on my love handles and I want to tone those up, and I'm not really that muscular. I want to define some more muscular tone in my body. And then there were some resolutions that I had. I just said, you know what, I'm going to stop eating fried foods on the weekends. I'm going to stop drinking as much as I do. Those were just things that they were just going to happen. So at that moment, I changed who I was at my core. It was just in my body. It had changed. And then my actions all of a sudden became different, because somebody who's healthy, fit, and athletic doesn't eat fried food every day. So in the process of changing who you are, your goals are, like I mentioned, going to just fall more easily into place, because your actions and your identity have to align. It just has to happen. So now that we've covered all that information, let's go out and figure out our real resolutions for 2014. And not those fake ones where you say, I'm going to buy a gym pass and then go for like 5 times. I'm talking about real resolutions. Things that you absolutely want to get done. Things that you know you're going to get done. Things that you decide are already done, and then you go out and do them. So if you want to lose those 15 pounds, just commit to it. Just say, I'm doing it. I know what inspires change in me, and I know that as I change who I am internally, those things are just going to fall into place. Now obviously you're going to stumble a little bit, you're not going to be perfect, and there's going to be some roadblocks. I'm here to tell you that's 100% okay. If you are doing some kind of dieting or exercising or weight loss, remember that it is 100% okay to cheat, to take a day off, and to rest. If what you want to do is once a week, maybe have a cheat day, eat your favorite foods, even if they're unhealthy, that's 100% okay with me, and it should be okay with you too. Remember, this is a process where you're figuring out who you want to become, you're enjoying the present moment, and you're enjoying the process of getting to that person you want to become. And if all you did during that whole process was starve yourself or eat things you didn't want to every single day, every moment, you'd go crazy. You'd lose your sanity. So you need to keep yourself in check. You need to stay okay. You need to keep your momentum building towards your goal, and your cheats are going to help you do that. Now, I think we've covered everything we need for you to go out and make 2014 the best year of your life. I don't care if 2013 wasn't a good year at all. There's no reason why you can't go out and make 2014 a better year, even the best year of your life with the information we just covered. Now, 2013 was the best year of my life, and I plan to make 2014 way better. I hope that everything I've given you so far in this video has been super informative and inspiring. I'm going to have a lot more information on my website in the coming year, including a video series, a mobile app, and some recipe guides, so be on the lookout for those. I really appreciate your time. Let's go out and make 2014 the best year of our lives, all right? Remember, you are the revolution. Yeah.